Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Am I in the right spot? How come just me and you?
Yeah, you're in the right spot.
Oh, just you and I hanging out today?
Yeah, I think so. It's gonna
Okay.
be a quiet day.
All right, cool. Oh, I guess it didn't really start till 8:30, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, well, that would explain it. Okay, well, I'll see you at 8:30.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See ya.
Mary Ann,
Yes, Mr. Foley.
I spoke with Mr. Taylor and I told him to leave the breakout room, but don't leave the meeting. He left the breakout room and now he appears to be gone.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Hopefully he'll pop back on.
Yeah, hopefully. We're just looking for an adjournment, but yeah,
Okay.
I don't see him now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks.
Good morning. Hi, Crystal. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. It's good to see your face.
Nice to see you as well. I am glad to be here, glad to be alive another day.
Yep. Hey, I just made you co-host so you can bop around and you have your own meeting room.
Thank you so much. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Mr. Taylor, take your cap off. I'll be back to call your case in just a moment.
Okay. There you go.
This is 23HR038340M. This is Huron Township versus Anthony Jerry Taylor. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
Anthony
State your name
Taylor.
for me, sir. Thank you so
Anthony
very
Taylor.
much. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Taylor, the way the staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes,
And Mr. Foley, have you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley?
yes,
Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I did want you to talk to Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor has told me that he wishes for an adjournment so that he can seek his own counsel.
Mr. Taylor, how long of an adjournment are you looking for, sir?
shouldn't take too long at all. Maybe a week or two.
Not too long, as we're back on May 11th or May 25th. Do you have a preference?
The 25th, if that's fine.
At 8:40, Judge?
Thank you. Mr. Taylor, we are adjourning your arraignment and the pretrial to May 25th, 2023 at 8:40 a.m. back here on Zoom. Sir, you spoke to the court staff this morning and they confirmed your phone number, address, email, everything like that?
Yes, ma'am.
They'll mail you a notice for that adjourned date. So back with me, courtroom number 1 on May 25th at 8:40 a.m. back on Zoom. If you retain counsel in the meantime, they know how to notify the court and be in communication with Mr. Foley, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Taylor?
So May 25th at what time? Sorry,
8:40, sir, 8:40.
8:40.
The
Okay,
notice will
well,
be mailed to you at the address you verified.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your time.
Have a good day.
So can I end this? I'm not really new. I'm new to this Zoom stuff.
You're good to leave. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome, sir. Have a good day.
You too, buddy. Thanks. I can figure out how to leave.
We'll put
Okay.
you out, Mr. Taylor. You don't need to do anything.
I got it.
Mr. Foley,
Yes, Your Honor.
we have pre-hearings with you today and they're mixed in with the regular docket. I don't know how you handle those typically.
I'll do whatever the court wants me to do.
It's new for us. They have been at the end of the dockets and now they're kind of interspersed. And they're not actual files for me, so I don't, however you want to handle them. I don't know if you've already gone through the docket or Ms. Foley Carter went through the docket and have reached out to the defendants or if there are offers available. I'm just saying it because it's new for us doing it this way, and I just want to be sure that
Yeah,
there's
I know
not
that she
something we
went,
should be
I know that
sending
she
you.
went, I know that she went through the docket, and I know that she has indications that offers were made on everything, so
Okay,
that's very possible.
sounds good to me. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning.
I see Mr. Ebling just went into the MIDC waiting room, but that was a case that's being adjourned.
I'll bring them out. I'll bring them out.
I wasn't sure if somebody needed to speak to him before.
Mr. Bowditch is his attorney and her attorney, Your Honor.
Oh, and here he is. Good morning, Mr. Bowditch.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you, sir?
Fine, Your Honor. Your Honor, I only have one matter, which is an adjournment.
Exactly. I just indicated that, and we were waiting for you, and then here you popped up.
Few minutes late, I apologize, Your Honor.
No, you're not late until 15 minutes after scheduled start time.
This would
These
be on
are
the Ebling.
These are 22 HR 12090 OM, 12091 A and B, and 12092 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Scott Ebling and Huron Township versus Ashley Ebling. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch, 45367, appearing on behalf of both Mr. and Mrs. Ebling.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people. Hey, Jeff.
Today was the date and time set for the arraignment and pretrials in these matters. The court received notification that the defense had requested an adjournment and that the prosecution had no objection. Was that accurate, Mr. Bowditch?
That's accurate, Your Honor. And as far as the arraignment, we waive formal reading and stand mute.
Mr. Ebling, were you able to hear both Mr. Foley and Mr. Bowditch just now?
Yes, ma'am.
And same question, Ms. Ebling, you were able to hear the attorneys just now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bowditch has indicated that the defendant stand mute to the charges against him. The court will set bond in these matters at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear and participate in these proceedings until the matters are concluded. Mr. Bowditch, in prepping for today, the court looked at the adjournment date of May 11th at 9 a.m. Will that give you sufficient time to do what you need to do in this during this adjourned period?
Mr. Foley, how's that date for you?
Well, the date's fine. What we're doing, Your Honor, is I'm getting a meeting between the Eblings and Mr. Bowditch and my client and myself. I think that as long as we all work diligently, that May 11th will be fine.
If you want more time, we can go to that May 25th date. That's your call, Mr. Bowditch, Mr. Foley. Court takes no position.
25th is probably better, Your Honor.
Absolutely.
agree.
At what time, Mary Ann?
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Both of these cases, or all of these cases are adjourned till May the 25th at 9 a.m. We're back on Zoom, back here in courtroom number 1. Anything else in these matters, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Bowditch?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am and sir. We will see you back here on Zoom, May the 25th at 9 a.m. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Your
Thank you,
Honor.
you too.
I'll be in touch, guys. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, I'm going to exit right now with your permission.
Have a good day. Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, you should see an invitation to go into a breakout room. Staff will be in there to confirm your phone number, email, and address. Please go there and speak to them. So Mary Ann, as we wait for something to be ready, I find myself back to trying to figure out what to do with 300 9-year-olds.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they have a plan.
I don't have a plan. I'm open to suggestions. I don't have any 9-year-olds in my life, so I'm not sure. I'm a fan of the riddle and the knock knock joke. That's about all I have.
That will work. Got to stretch it out.
don't know if you're able to hear that jet traffic, Mary Ann.
Yep, I can hear that.
It sounds like a lot more than usual.
Hey, Kevin, it looks like there's somebody in your waiting room.
Oh yeah, Mary Ann, there's something going on. This is 23HR 03037OI, Huron Township versus, is it Danny's Transport?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your appearances, please.
My name is Brittany Dedlock. I do human resources and safety for Danny's Transport.
Kevin Foley for the people, Your Honor.
Today is the day and time set for the pre-hearing in this matter. Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I did have the opportunity to meet with the respondent. We have agreed to reduce the fines and costs to a total of $371.
$371.
Correct, Your Honor.
And ma'am, you have full authority from Danny's Transport to enter into this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will indicate that Danny's Transport is pleading responsible to the overweight with fines and costs of $371. Ma'am, do you require more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No.
5 days to pay, you can pay in person, you can pay online. Or you
Okay.
can mail it to the court. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you so much for your patience this morning, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Absolutely, sir. We'll get you moved into Mr. Foley's breakout room. You can go there and speak to him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oops. It's bad. There we go.
Mr. Nunley, do you need to speak to Ms. Zajac?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
We'll get you into a breakout room with her.
Okay.
No. Mary Ann.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jacobs is in a waiting room for the clerks. His cases have already been adjourned. Here we are. Mr. Jacobs?
Hello,
Mr.
can you hear me?
Jacobs? Yes, sir.
Yes,
Can you hear
yes.
me?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Sir, I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Your cases have already been adjourned,
Okay.
so I didn't want you to go into the clerk's room. Mary Ann, do you have that new date for him, please?
Yes, give me 1 second.
Absolutely.
Could you put me in a breakout with Mr. Gardner now, please? Or I can call him, it doesn't matter.
We'll put you into a breakout room, but when you come back in this main session, please don't shout out like that. If you need something, you can send a chat to Mary Ann. It's fine. We're just in the middle of doing something else.
I apologize. Thank you.
No worries. Mr. Jacobs, your return date is May 11th at 9, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
June 8th,
Yep, I'm
June
sorry.
8th at 10:30 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
The notice was mailed out yesterday, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You have a good day, sir. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
I'm sorry, who needs to go where? I'm sorry.
Mr. Nadal needs to go in with his client.
Okay.
Mr. Gardner.
Correct.
Mr. Gardner, you should see an invitation going to a breakout room with your attorney. Please go there.
Hello.
Did you need to speak to Mr. Foley again, or were you ready with Mr. Gardner?
I'm ready on.
No, sir, Mr. Rodnick,
oh.
no, sir.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to make sure that I texted you instead. I need to speak to Mr. Gardner. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Foley.
Mr. Foley,
Yes.
you should be able to go back into,
Well, let me see.
Mr. Foley, if you go back into your meeting room.
I'm ready whenever the court is ready, Your Honor. I'm Mr. Jackson.
Waiting for Mr. Foley to come back.
Ms. Medina, are you on my Bikemeier and Isaac Woods case?
No, that would be Mr. Foley.
Oh, okay. I need to see Mr. Foley when there's a chance. Thank you.
Sir, I just sent you an invitation to join Mr. Foley's waiting room.
Thank you.
Mr. Sheena, what case are you here for, sir?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Mr. Sandeha. It's just a traffic ticket. I don't know if I'm in the right spot, but that's the Zoom ID, my assistant.
You are in the right spot for 9:30 for Merlin Sandia.
Yes.
Do you need to speak to the prosecutor?
Yes, please.
We'll get you moved into his waiting room.
And then, Judge, if we work this out, do we put it on record still?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Nelly, were you ready with Ms. Zajac?
Yes, Your Honor.
As soon as Mr. Foley returns, it'll be Mr. Jackson and then Ms. Zajac and then Mr. Gardner.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. These are 23 HR 03347 A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Rodney Stonewall Jackson. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, would you please state your full name for the record? Mr. Jackson, you need to turn on your audio.
Rodney Stonewall Jackson.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial on this matter. Mr. Jackson, remove your caps. Ms. Medina, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, with regard to the arraignment, we would waive formal reading and stand mute. With regard to the pretrial, at this time, Mr. Jackson is prepared to plead guilty to driving while license suspended. He understands that that will be on his driving record and have points added to his driving record. In exchange, the disobeyed stop sign and no proof of insurance would be dismissed. Your Honor, Mr. Jackson would like me just to, although it is ultimately being dismissed either way, he wants the court aware that he did have proof of insurance on that day, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jackson, you've had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Medina. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, you wish to plead guilty as charged to the driving while license suspended.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promise anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, is it true that on March 28, 2023 in Huron Township, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Medina?
Satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson, the court accepts your plea of guilty to driving while license suspended. As previously indicated, driving without insurance and the disobeying a stop sign are dismissed. Ms. Medina, anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are assessed?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, at this time, the court will impose a fine of $300, cost of $100. There's $75 crime victims fund. There's $50 mandatory state costs and $20 fund fee. That's $545, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, you will see an invitation, go into a breakout room with the collections department. Maria will be there to help you set a payment plan on that $545. Anything else in this matter, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, please go speak to the collections clerk. Have a good day and good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a beautiful.
Thank you. This is, we lose Mr. Foley.
Whatever, bro.
As soon as Mr. Foley comes back out, Mr. Nunley.
Is there a moment to request an adjournment, Judge?
Did you get a new date? Did you discuss a date with Mr. Medina, Mr. Foley?
We did not, but I would leave it up to the court's discretion. I'm trying to resolve something in St. Clair Shores first. That's affecting our ability to figure out what's going on with Mr. Gardner.
How long of an adjournment would you be looking for?
No longer than 30 days. Not even. I don't know. It's St. Clair Shores is on their own schedule. I expect to
That'll
get some
put you on
resolution.
maybe either our May 25th or June the 8th.
Excuse me, what was that? What was that, ma'am?
May 25th or June the 8th.
Give me a moment. No. June 8th is better. For me.
8:30, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
8:30.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'll see you then.
No, are you going to do the arraignment of your client or are you just
Oh,
looking for?
that's correct. We're
without
gonna,
any
we should,
conversation? Exactly.
we should
Just wait
arrange
a
it.
moment, when Mr. Foley comes out, there's one case that needs to go ahead of you. That's Ms. Zajac, and then Mr. Gardner's case will be called.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is 23 HR 025870D. It's Huron Township versus Zajac. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the township.
Personally appearing on behalf of the defendant. Ms. Zajac, will you please state your name for the record?
Eva Zajac.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial on this matter. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding?
I would be requesting one more adjournment from the court. I just received the discovery here recently, and I'm trying my hardest to upload it right now to get it over to Ms. Zajac so that she can review it. So one more adjournment will give us enough time to go over it together and then decide how we'd like to move forward.
Mr. Nunley, May 11th or May 25th?
Sorry, May 11th, I will be on vacation. May 25th would be perfect.
8:40, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Zajac, your case is being adjourned to May the 25th, 2023 at 8:40 a.m. That's back here on Zoom, back here in courtroom number 1. Anything else in this case, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Zajac, I'll see you next month. You have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. You too, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. These are 23 HR 03366 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Trayvon Gardner. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
And Scott Nadeau on behalf of Mr. Gardner. He might still be in the breakout room.
He's still in, we'll pull him out.
All
Mr. Foley, yeah, today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial.
There he is.
Mr. Nadeau, how are we proceeding this morning?
As to arraignment, waive formal reading, stand mute.
Mr. Gardner, state your name for me, please, sir.
Hi, I'm Trayvon Gardner.
Thank you. Mr. Gardner, your bond will be set at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until these cases are resolved in their entirety. Mr. Foley, in your absence, Mr. Nadeau indicated that there will be an adjournment, or he was requesting an adjournment of this matter. Do you have any objection to these matters being adjourned to June the 8th?
No objection, Your Honor.
June 8th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. back here in number 1 on Zoom with me. Mr. Gardner, court staff will mail you notice of that adjourned date and time to the address that you verified this morning. Again, the pretrial is adjourned to June the 8th, 2023, 8:30 a.m. back here in number 1 on Zoom. Anything else, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Nothing from us.
Anything else on behalf of Mr. Gardner?
Nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gardner, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for your patience this morning, sir.
You guys do too.
Thank you. Are we ready on the Woods and Beckenmeyer matters?
I can't speak to those, Your Honor, but I am ready on Mr. Allen. I just wanted to let the court know that.
Then we'll take that because the other one is motion hearing.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Gentlemen, these are 23 HR 03453 A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Allen. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen, state your name for me, sir.
Austin Allen.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in these matters. Ms. Medina, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, with regard to the arraignment, we would waive formal reading and stand mute. As far as the pretrial, Your Honor, my understanding is that the offer is that Mr. Allen can plead responsible to double parking with a fine of $350. In exchange, the original charges would be dismissed, Your Honor, and he is prepared to plead responsible at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Allen, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Medina. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding that you'll be pleading responsible to an added count of double parking.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything to get you to plead responsible?
No, ma'am.
You're pleading responsible because you are in fact responsible.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Allen, is it true that on March 31st, 2023 in Huron Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Medina?
Satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, the court accepts your plea of responsible to being double parked and will dismiss the misdemeanor driving while license expired and the civil infractions of operating while texting and the registration or plate violation. As previously indicated by Ms. Medina, the fine in this matter will be $350. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
No, I don't.
5 days to pay, sir. You can pay online, you can pay in person, or you can mail it into the court.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, thank you for your patience this morning, sir. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you. As to the Beckmeyer Woods matters, Mr. Foley and Mr. Rodnick, are we ready?
I haven't had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Rodnick. That may be appropriate, Your Honor.
You have not had.
I have not yet.
Okay. Were you ready with Mr. Sheena and the Marlon Sandia matter?
We are, Your Honor.
This is 23HR 03380 Huron Township versus Sandia. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Gregory Sheena on behalf of the respondent. Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
we're going to
Today's date and time
request,
set for the pre-hearing. I'm sorry.
sorry, Your Honor. We're going to request an adjournment. Mr. Foley did tender an offer for LAS 6 to 10. I was hoping for something a little better. I just want to explain to my client why and then come back and probably accept that offer. Thank you.
Mr. Sheena, May 11th or May 25th?
What time is that, Your Honor?
We don't have a time. We back into a time from a date. Is there a date that's better than the other for you?
It looks to be May 25th is a lot better.
May 25th at what time, Mary Ann?
8:40.
8:40, sir?
That works perfect, Your Honor. Thank you.
May 25th at 8:40, back on Zoom, back here with me in number one. Anything else, Mr. Sheena?
Nothing further.
Have a good day, sir. I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Mr. Foley, it looks like the attorney is in your waiting room.
I will join him.
Before you do, Ms. Root, have you spoken to an attorney this morning?
No.
You'll go in and, I'm sorry, were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning, ma'am?
I know we talked to the prosecutor on the phone and they said that she would talk to her today about maybe working out like a Homes Youthful Training Act.
Ma'am, who are you?
I'm her mom.
Okay, I'm talking to Madison Root. Ma'am, you're gonna see an invitation to go into a breakout room to speak to the court-appointed attorney. Please go there with her.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Foley.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Officer Jolly, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Ms. Root, you should see an invitation to join a breakout room. You need to click on that, please.
I don't have one. There we go.
Miss Medina, if you would be kind enough to go into speak to Miss Root.
Judge, she has to speak with Andy first. Do you want me to move her in to talk with?
No, I didn't know she hadn't spoken to Andy. Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry, guys.
Attorney,
So, oh, I
don't
see.
let them get
So now I see there hadn't been anybody right in MIDC waiting room until now. Am I supposed to speak to Young? Young, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary, I was saying, don't let the attorneys get away. I'm just bringing you the files.
Okay.
That was true.
Mr. Rodnick, when Mr. Foley comes out, I'll get the case called, the case is called.
Okay. I'm just waiting for Mr. Foley to let me know what, I think he's talking to the officer on my case.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I took care of that. So you don't have to leave with her. Yeah, thank you. But they start at 1:30. Yeah, well, maybe they'll just, you know. Yeah. Let's finish your pill. Get rid of this guy. Did you get rid of all the people that I told you to get rid of this year?
These are 22 HR 013213 OM, Huron Township versus Isaac Woods. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Kevin Foley on behalf of the people.
Mr. Rodnick, you're muted, sir.
Thank you. Randy Rodnick, I'm
Mr. Woods, state your name for me, sir.
Isaac Woods.
Thank you. Mr. Rodnick, these cases were scheduled for arraignment and pretrial in motion this morning. How are we proceeding?
Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, if I could meet with Mr. Rodnick quickly in my breakout room.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worries. Mr. Rodnick, you should be able to go right back into Mr. Foley's meeting room.
Okay, I'm just waiting. Here we go. Breakout rooms. Join breakout room.
So Mr. Rodnick asked to Mr. Woods.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, we're going to enter a plea to disorderly conduct.
Thank you. Mr. Woods, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to your attorney. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation, Mr. Woods, is your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to being a disorderly person?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Woods, is it true that on October 26, 2022, in Huron Township, you were a disorderly person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodnick, would you like to inquire further of your client?
At that time, sir, you were disorderly, you were loud
Yes, Your Honor.
and obnoxious, yes. I have no further questions.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Rodnick?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Woods, the court accepts your plea of being guilty of being a disorderly person in Huron Township at the date and time placed on the record. Mr. Rodnick, anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are assessed in this matter?
Thank you. My client, full-time employment, Your Honor. He's a young fellow. He's never been in trouble before. This is a first-time offender for any situation. And at this time, I would just ask for immediate sentence as we're doing now and ask that he have just basically a fine and a slap on the wrist. Don't do it again, Mr. Woods.
Absolutely not.
Mr. Foley, any comment?
We would leave something to the sound discretion of the court, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Woods, the court will impose a fine of $200, cost of $100. There's mandatory crime victims fee of $75. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. That's $445, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
5 days to pay. Anything else in this case, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else in this case, Mr. Rodnick?
Done, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next up is 23HR. I'm sorry, Mr. Woods, you're free to go, sir. You can pay online, you can pay in person, or you can mail it into the court.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
You too. This is 23 HR 00438OM. This is Huron Township versus Dylan Bickmeyer. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, Kevin Foley, for the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Randy Rodnick on behalf of Mr. Beckmeyer.
State your name for me, sir.
Dylan Beckmeyer.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment pretrial and motion hearing. Mr. Rodnick, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, my client is pleading guilty to disorderly conduct.
Mr. Beckmeyer, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Rodnick, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding you'll be pleading guilty to disorderly conduct?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you understand, I'm sorry, being a disorderly person. Sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Beckmeyer, is it true that on October 26, 2022 in Huron Township, you were a disorderly person?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rodnick, would you like to inquire further of your client?
Sure. Mr. Beckmeyer, on that date and time, isn't it true that you were somewhat loud and obnoxious?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Rodnick?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Beckmeyer, the court accepts your plea of guilty to being a disorderly person at the date and time placed on the record in Huron Township. Mr. Rodnick, anything before fines and costs are assessed in this matter?
Thank you, Your Honor. Same as the previous client of mine. Mr. Beckmeyer has no prior record. He's fully employed. This is a one-time incident. He doesn't expect to come back. I would ask for immediate sentence and that he just be slapped on the wrist with some fines and costs. He will not be before your court ever again.
Mr. Foley, any comments?
People have no comment, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Beckmeyer, the court will impose the following: a $200 fine, $100 cost, $75 crime victim fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. That's $445, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
No, ma'am.
5 days to pay, sir. You can pay in person, you can pay online, or you can mail it into the court. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Rodnick?
Nothing, Your Honor, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Foley. Everyone have a good day. Stay safe.
You too, sir. Mr. Beckmeyer, you're free to go. Have a good day.
Have a blessed day, you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. These are 23 HR 03401 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Henry Young. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Young. Mr. Young, would you please state your full name for the record, sir?
Henry Dominic Young.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Ms. Medina, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, with regard to the arraignment, we would waive formal reading and stand mute. As to the pretrial, at this time, Mr. Young is prepared to plead guilty to no operator's license on person. My understanding is that in exchange, the DWLS and the speed would be dismissed, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Young, raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in these matters will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Medina and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding you will be pleading guilty to having no operator's license on your person.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
And Mr. Young, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, not threat.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Young, is it true that on March 30th, 2023 in Huron Township, you did not have a operator's license on your person while you were operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
I am, Your Honor, and just to clarify, I believe that the speed was a warning and the civil infraction was the no proof of insurance.
The vehicle in question is insured.
I have it the opposite way, Mr. Foley. I have it as a speeding 63 and a 45 as the civil infraction. I don't see anything about insurance.
Well, I stand corrected. That's my ticket's different. I just want to make sure that we take care of everything for Mr. Young, Your Honor.
We will. Satisfied, Ms. Medina?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Young, the court accepts your plea of guilty to no operator's license on person. The speeding civil infraction is dismissed. Ms. Medina, any comments before fines and costs are assessed in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. I did have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Young. I would ask the court to consider reduce fines and costs in this case. Also, Mr. Young wanted me to inquire as to any option that the court may have for community service. I am not familiar with that, but he indicates right now he is going through a tough financial time. He has a child to take care of and is in between employment, Your Honor.
Mr. Young, the court will impose the following fines and costs, sir. There's $100 fine, there's $100 in cost, there's $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. That's $345, sir. The court does have the ability to, you do have the ability to do community service and to reduce the fines and costs. It's 1 hour of community service for every $15 in fines and costs. You can contact the court's probation department if you don't, and they'll put you in touch with who you need to complete that community service. You need to provide documentation of the hours completed.
Okay.
So, Mr. Young, you can go online, or you can call the court's probation department. You send them an email letting them know that's what you want to do, or you can come in person and make those arrangements. I've made a notation in the file that you may convert fines and costs by the community service.
Okay.
Anything else in this case, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Young, please be in contact with the court's community service clerk sooner rather than later, okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Do you have a second, Mr. Foley?
I do, Mr. Nunley. I will visit you in your room.
Before you go, Mr. Foley, was there some resolution with Mr. Young, Randolph Young?
I don't
Yes,
think
hello.
so. I don't know that I've talked to Mr. Nunley.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Foley, how about if we meet in room 8? I have my client in my meeting room.
I can do that.
Okay, see you there.
Mr. Young, have you spoken to the clerks to verify your phone number, email address, and street address?
Yes, I did.
Have you spoken to the prosecutor?
Yes, I did. Probably about 2 weeks ago, not today though.
Okay, then sir, you'll see an invitation to go into his waiting room. There are 2 other people there. Please go into that room, or I'm sorry, let's back up a little bit. Were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning, or are you looking to proceed on your own?
Proceed on my own.
You'll go into Mr. Foley's waiting room, and when you're done with him, you'll come back out. When I call your case, please have your cap removed and be ready for your case to be called.
Okay, how do I get there?
You should see an invitation on the screen to say join the breakout. It'll say Prosecutor Foley's waiting room.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
yeah.
This is 23HR 00598 AOT. This is Huron Township versus Harish Krishnan. Today was the day and time set for the show cause arraignment and pretrial. Was actually scheduled at 8 a.m. It is now 9:59 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. Mr. McManus,
Yes, Your Honor.
did you speak? Have you spoken to Mr. Foley about Rahal?
I have not, Your Honor.
We'll get you moved
I-
into his breakout room. And you can talk to him before the court calls the case.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Nunley, were you ready with Mr. Hirsch?
Yes, Your Honor. It's just gonna be a
As
dismissal.
soon
of
as Mr. Foley, I'm sorry,
It's just gonna be a dismissal of all charges.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that he might have one outstanding matter with the court, Mr. Nunley.
Okay. I think Mr. Foley's talking to somebody in his meeting room, so I'm gonna go talk to one more in our meeting room.
Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. These were 23HR 03274 A, B, C, and D. These are all Huron Township versus Anthony Bernard Edwards. These matters were scheduled for pre-hearing and arraignment pre-trial at 8:30. It is now 10:02 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. The D file will be set for show cause A, B, and C. The civil infractions will be deemed in default. This is. These are actually 23HR 03590 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Bryce McFall. May I have your appearances, please?
Evan Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Bryce McFall.
Mr. McFall, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that
Yes.
correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you wish to proceed on your own?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McFall, you've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Foley.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I have discussed this matter with Mr. McFall. Mr. McFall will agree to plead responsible to the civil infraction of 16 to 20 over, and the people will dismiss the misdemeanor violation of license restrictions.
Mr. McFall, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you wish to plead responsible to speeding 16 to 18 over the posted speed limit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McFall, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McFall, is it true that on April 4, 2023 in Huron Township, you were speeding 16 to 18 over the posted limit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, is it actually true that you were going 62 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour posted area?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Fall, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the speeding ticket and dismisses the misdemeanor violation of license restrictions. The court will impose fines and costs totaling $180, Mr. McFall.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need more than 5 days to pay that, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McFall, 5 days to pay. You may pay in person, you may pay online, or you can mail it into the court. Anything else, Mr. McFall?
No, Your Honor.
That concludes this matter, sir. You have a wonderful day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. Ms. Medina, are we ready? Oh, no, okay. What happened with?
We were ready on Miss Ramesh, but I'm not sure where she went.
She left and she was just relabeled. Mr. Nunley has something else in the interim, but I'll keep an eye out for Ramesh.
Thank you.
These are 22 HR 13051 A, B, C, and D. May I have your appearances, please?
Evan Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Royce Snelling appearing on behalf of the defendant, Antoine Hirsch. Mr. Hirsch, will you please start your video, unmute, and state your name for the record?
Antoine Hirsch.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the trial in this matter. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That was
How are we proceeding this morning, Mr. Nunley?
I believe that his prosecutors intend to dismiss the charges.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Any objection, Mr. Nunley?
No objection.
Mr. Hirsch, you're able to hear these proceedings?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
The charges, thank you, sir. The charges that arise of the incident on December 28, 2022 are hereby dismissed. Mr. Hirsch, what the court indicated before is that you have an outstanding matter with this court. You owe $480 on a failure to display from a 2021 case, okay? Please contact the court's collections department to make payment arrangements in that matter. It's not on the docket for this morning. The court just received information that that is outstanding. Anything else in this case, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hirsch. Good luck to you, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, sir.
I need to borrow you again whenever you're free, Mr. Foley.
He's free right now, sir.
All right. Breakout room number 8 again.
Sure.
Ms. Ramesh, I see you there. You'll be the next case called when Mr. Foley returns.
Okay. Hi, oh, sorry, yep. Yeah.
These are 23 HR 03775 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Ramesh. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Kristen Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Romej. Ms. Romej, would you please say your full name for the record?
Olivia Alice Rome.
Oh, Rome, that's.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with regard to the arraignment, we would wait for more reading and stand mute, Your Honor. For today's purposes, my understanding is that the people would request an adjournment. We have no objection as they hope to contact the complainant in this case regarding restitution.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Foley, how long of an adjournment do you need, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Either to the 8th or the 20th, or May 25th would be fine, Your Honor.
Excuse, I didn't hear that part.
Just wait till you
May
hear.
25th at what time?
8:50.
I'm sorry, you say 8:30, Mary Ann?
850.
850, thank you, ma'am. 8:50 a.m., back on Zoom, back here in number 1. Ms. Romaine, your bond in this matter will be set at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear in this matter until the case is resolved. Understood?
Yes.
Anything else, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Medina?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Romaine, you have a wonderful day. I'll see you on May 25th, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Were you ready with Mr. Hall?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll just be requesting an adjournment.
We were looking at May 25th at 8:30.
Oh, that's fine.
This is 23 HR 036350M Huron Township versus Howard Hall. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Royce Nelly on behalf of the defendant. Mr. Hawker, will you state your name for the record, please?
I don't know the code to unmute on the phone. Mr. Nolly, do you know what that is? Star or something? I see Mr. Hall here. I see he's on the phone. There was a note in the file already that there would be a request to adjourn this matter for 30 days for the defendant to comply with township ordinances. The court having spoken to the attorneys just now, this matter will be adjourned to May the 25th at 8:30 a.m. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. This matter is adjourned in its entirety to that date. Marianne,
Yes, ma'am.
would you go and see who that is on the iPad, please?
Sure.
Thank you. No luck, Marianne. I see they're in with Andy now.
No, I was speaking with her and then she disappeared. So it was Heather, it's Heather.
Okay,
It's your 10:30.
thank you. These are 23HR 03326. A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Nicholas Battaglini. These matters were scheduled for pre-hearing and arraignment pretrial at 8:40. It's now 10:19 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, bench warrant shall issue in the B file. A and B will be deemed in default. These are 23HR 03581 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Madison Root. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Ma'am, unmute yourself, state your name for the record.
Madison Root.
Ms. Root, the way the court staff have you identify indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct, ma'am?
That is correct, yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, that is correct.
And ma'am, you intend to proceed on your own this morning?
Yes,
Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley?
yes.
Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Your Honor, the people have offered HIDA with 12 months.
Ms. Root, do you understand what that means?
Yes, I do.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
And ma'am, you may put your hand down. Ma'am, you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties,
yes, I do.
and you've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, is your intention to plead guilty as charged to the drug crime possession of marijuana?
I do, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Ma'am.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it true that on March 21st, 2023 in Huron Township, you were in possession of marijuana contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
We are satisfied, Your Honor.
Ms. Root, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged to the drug crime as indicated on the plea offer from the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
The civil infraction would be dismissed. Mr. Foley had also indicated that this plea would be taken pursuant to HIDA for 12 months. You understand?
I do, ma'am.
Ma'am, as a condition of your sentence, you are to pay fines and costs totaling $500, incur no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan during this 12 months period. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm currently a high school student and I'm currently not working. And I do have a question about if I could get instead of fines, can I distribute that into community service instead?
I'm sorry, high school student?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't work? You've never worked?
I never worked.
What year are you in school, ma'am?
12th grade.
12th grade. What are you doing next year with yourself?
I want to go to college, trade school, college to be a pharmacy technician.
Mr. Foley, do you have any objection to being community service?
We have no objections, Your Honor.
Ms. Root, 24 hours of community service.
That's fine.
The other condition The other condition of no new criminal offenses in the state of Michigan, you must complete those 24 hours over these next 12 months.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Root?
No, ma'am. Thank
Good
you.
luck to you, ma'am. Have a good day. You're free to
Your
go.
Honor, Your Honor, if I may, there is an order for fingerprints in the file. We have that entered and we have Ms. Rutt here at the police department for fingerprints.
Ms. Root, as indicated by the prosecutor, there is an order for fingerprints on the front of the file. The court has signed that. Please submit yourself to the Huron Township Police Department to have your fingerprints taken in this matter.
I will do, ma'am.
Thank you so very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
No problem.
This is 23HR 03310 Huron Township versus Almera. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Rami Hijazi on behalf of Almera, P82830.
Mr. Ajazi, you've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley.
I have not.
Oh, it looks like there's one thing ready, Mr. Ajazi. If you'll go into the breakout room, Mr. Foley will be there shortly. Let me just call this other matter.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Thank you.
No problem.
There were two things. I'm sorry, what did I just see? Mr. Egger. This is 23HR 03789 Huron Township versus Little Sean Kelly Egger. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Royce Nunley on behalf of the defendant. Mr. Egger, will you please state your name for the record?
Little Sean Kelly Edgar.
Thank you. Today's the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. Mr. Nunley, how are we proceeding?
We're going to need the discovery in this matter, so we'll be seeking an adjournment.
In the interim, as for the arraignment, sir,
We'd waive a formal reading and ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty.
how long of an adjournment are you looking for, Mr. Nunley?
I don't know how long it takes to get the discovery, but on May 25th, we could do that same date. That would be fine.
May 25th at what time, Marianne?
8:50.
Thank you. Mr. Egger, the court will set your bond at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved in its entirety. There's a notation in the file that Mr. Nunley has requested discovery. The pretrial is adjourned to May 25th at 8:50 a.m. back here on Zoom, back in number 1. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Egger, I'll see you back here on May 25th. There was an order for fingerprints attached to the front of the file. The court has signed that. Mr. Egger, please present yourself to the Huron Township Police Department to have your fingerprints taken before that May 25th date. Okay, sir?
Where do I go for that? Up there, 34th?
To the Huron Township Police Department, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
I don't see anything else, Mr. Foley. If you want to go,
I will do that, Your Honor.
thank you. What happened with Mr. Young? Oh. Ms. Bonnet-Kemper? I see you there, ma'am. I try to be as close to 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. So if we don't see Ms. Klein by about 10:45, I'll get the case call so you can get on with your day, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Mary Ann. She's in with the court-appointed attorney, ma'am, so we'll get the case call when Mr. Nunley pops out. This is 23HR029911 AOI, Huron Township versus Deborah Dolinger. This matter was scheduled for pre-hearing at 8:40. It's now 10:30 by the court's clock. There is no one by that name in the court's breakout sessions. No response to the case call. Defendant having failed to appear, this matter would be deemed in default. Marianne, it's odd. There's a motion to set aside conviction and neither the defendant nor the attorney appeared. Case was scheduled at 8:40. Huh.
Huh.
And I can't see it. Would you look for me, please? It's 094708.
Sure, give me 1 second.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was set aside automatically on the 21st.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is This is 23 HR 03310 Huron Township versus Alameda. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Rami Hijazi, P82830 on behalf of Alamira.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pre-hearing in this matter. How are we proceeding, Mr. Hijazi?
Your Honor, the prosecution has offered double parking, a $250 fine. I would just like to let the court know that I do have the authority to admit responsible on behalf of Mr. Alamira for double parking, and we hope to take advantage of that offer.
Mr. Foley, is that an accurate recitation of the offer in this matter?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Hajazi, the court accepts your plea of responsible on behalf of your client to the double parking fine of $250. Does your client need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
No, 5 days is perfect.
5 days to pay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
$250 responsible. Anything else, Mr. Hajazi?
No, nothing else.
Have a good day. Thank you,
You
sir.
too. Thank you.
Mr. Brewer, have you spoken to the clerks to confirm your information?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we are prepared to proceed on Mr. Brewer. He had just logged off apparently and now has come back in.
Thank you. This is 23 HR 036320M Huron Township versus Nathaniel Brewer. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
And Crystal Marie Medina, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. Brewer. Mr. Brewer, would you please state your full name for the record, sir?
Nathaniel Vincent Brewer.
Your Honor, with
Thank you.
regard.
No, you go
What?
ahead, Ms. Medina.
Sorry, with regard to the arraignment, Your Honor, we would waive from a reading and stand mute. At this time, we are seeking an adjournment of this matter. Your Honor, my understanding is my client is in contact with the ordinance officer and is hoping to get this violation taken care of as soon as possible, Judge, which may lead to a better resolution for him.
Thank you. Mr. Brewer, as a procedural matter, the court will set your bond at $1,000 personal, $1,000 personal. You don't need to post any money, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this matter is resolved. The adjourned date will be
May 11th at 9:50.
Will that give you sufficient time, Mr. Brewer, Ms. Medina, Mr. Brewer? Or do you want
Is
to go
it-
out to that May 25th date?
May
If we-
25th.
Yes, if we could do May 25th, Your Honor, to give him, yes, that would be great.
At 9 o'clock, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. May 25th at 9 a.m. back here on Zoom in number 1. Anything else in this case, Mr. Foley?
Just if Mr. Brewer could contact Officer McCure as soon as possible and get those things moving, it'd be appreciated.
Mr. Brewer, you understand that, sir?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. I'll see you on the 25th.
Thank you. You have a good evening.
Thank you, Your
You
Honor.
too. This is 1711590T. This is Huron Township versus Randolph Russell Young. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Mr. Young, unmute yourself and state your name for the record, sir. You're muted.
Randolph Young.
Thank you. Mr. Young, the way the court staff had you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, that's correct.
It's your intention to proceed on your own.
Yes.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley, the prosecutor?
No, I didn't. I was inside of a waiting room and then somebody had left out and then they just left me in there by myself.
Yeah, you wait there for him to come to you. There are other cases scheduled, so he's been going in, pulling people to talk to him, and then bringing them back to this main session.
Okay, I was just making sure.
You're fine. If you go there right now, Mr. Foley will go there right now, okay?
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Foley just went into the breakout room. Mr. Nunley, did you need to speak to him before Ms. Klein's case is called?
I don't know. I mean, it's a final pretrial where I assume that there's supposed to be a victim here.
She's here.
Okay, well, then I think that I don't really need to talk to him. We just need
Okay.
discovery and adjournment and probably a trial.
When he pops back out, I'll get this case called then.
Okey doke.
Thank you. These are 23 HR 03390 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Jovian Inkton. These matters were scheduled at 8:50 a.m. for arraignment pretrial. It is now 10:39 by the court's clock. There is no one in the breakout session with that name. There's no one responding to the call. Defendant having failed to appear. The A file will be set for show cause. The B file will be deemed in default. This is a recall of 1711590T Huron Township versus Young. The court already has your appearances. Mr. Young, you've now had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley.
Yes, I did.
Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we have offered, people have offered, and the defendant has accepted a no ops on person. We would dismiss the DWLS and the no proof of insurance.
All I have, Mr. Foley, is the driving while license suspended. Mr. Young, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear a firm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Mr. Young, you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's your desire this morning to plead guilty to no operator's license on person.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I'm aware of that, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Free and voluntarily, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Young, is it true that on March 19, 2017 in Huron Township, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Foley?
People are satisfied, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Young, the court accepts your plea of guilty to no operator's license on person. Is there anything you'd like to say before this court imposes fines and costs?
You said that you said you couldn't find the no insurance case.
It's not on this file that I have. This file is just a driving while license suspended. The original citation shows a no proof of insurance, but I don't have it, so I don't know if it went into default and was paid. I just don't see it.
Okay, I'm just trying to make it clear that, I just don't want no pop-ups. I'm trying to get my life together and stuff. And I just need everything settled, and I ain't trying to go around in a circle.
Mr. Young, the only other thing that I have from court staff is information that you owe $45 on the 2017 driving while license suspended.
Okay.
While we're talking, my secretary is in the office. She can look to see if there is another, what happened with the no insurance that was on this 2000 and.
You paid it on March 8th, $478.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Welcome.
Okay, so that's why you don't see it?
That's why I don't see it, sir.
Okay. All right, I was making sure.
Anything else for this case?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Young, the court will impose minimal fines and costs in this matter. It's a $100 fine. There's $100 in costs. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state costs. There's a $20 fund fee. There's $50 mandatory bench warrant, $50 mandatory late fee, and a $45 clearance. That's $490, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Young, that concludes the case this morning with me. You'll see an invitation now to go into a breakout room with Maria. She's from our collections department. She'll be able to put you on a payment plan for that $490, okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you, madam.
Thank you for your patience this morning, sir. Good luck to you.
Yep, and you have a wonderful day.
You too, sir. Thank you. This is 230071 OM. This is City of Romulus versus Heather Lynn Klein, may I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant. Ms. Klein, will you please state your name for the record?
Heather Klein.
Thank you. Today is a day and time. Set for the final pretrial in this matter. The complainant, Ms. Catherine Monnen-Kemper, is here. How are we proceeding this morning?
Well, this is my first time speaking with Ms. Klein. I don't know who the attorney was before who set this final pretrial. On the docket sheet, it just says MIDC. But I'm obviously happy to represent her moving forward. However, I would need the discovery in this matter prior to setting it for trial. So I know it said.
I'll make a notation in the file that discovery's been requested.
And I can provide that to opposing counsel. Mr. Nunley, do you have any objection to Ms. Monnen-Kemper not showing up for the next one? This is the second time she's shown up.
No objection.
Okay, thank you. And Catherine, I'll be in touch with you, of course. You just won't have to zoom in for the next one.
So we're just adjourning the final pretrial out. How far do you want to go, or how far do we need to go?
Can we stick with that May 25th date?
Absolutely. If Mr. Greco's available.
Actually, Angela will be covering for me that day, but it should be fine.
So Judge, this is a Romulus case?
That's
It
correct.
is.
So,
Is
okay,
it staying on this docket?
that's, I was thinking that should it go to Judge Oakley?
No, it's
not.
on.
He's recused.
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay, yep. All right, that's fine. Yep.
So it will stay on the Huron docket.
Okay, we can do it at the same time at 10:30.
We are adjourning the final pretrial in this matter to May the 25th at 10:30 a.m. That's back here in number 1, back on Zoom. The attorneys have agreed that the complainant, Ms. Monnen-Kemper, does not need to appear on that date. Discovery has been requested. Mr. Greco and Mr. Nunley know how to get that effectuated. Is there anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Klein, I will see you on May the 25th. Ms. Monnen-Kemper, thank you for your patience this morning. Have a good day. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going to sign off.
Thank you, Mr. Greco. Take care.
Thanks, Mary Ann. Take care. Take care, Royce.
See you later.
Is that all for
Mr.
us?
Nunley, where are your coworkers?
Me?
Yeah, I like
don't
to see
know.
your little fuzzy coworkers in the background.
Oh,
Oh,
those
yeah.
coworkers. I'm like, oh, I'm
Those
here.
coworkers, yeah, they're not here today.
Oh,
I had to go home yesterday. I had somebody doing something in my basement and he texted me and he's like, dude, they haven't stopped barking. He was there for like an hour and a half. They didn't stop. I had to go home to stop them, to let him out of the cage.
poor babies.
I know, right?
Oh, let's look. Is there's a ticket in, I see, with Mr. Foley. The last scheduled case that I see, we have formal hearings at 11:15, 11:30. The last regular case that we had scheduled was at 10:10 a.m. That person is not here. I don't see any other unidentified persons. It's 10:49 by our clock. Anyone else is late and beyond the ability to be seen this morning. And Mr. Nunley and Miss Medina, unless you just want to hang around and wait and see if something shows up. Otherwise, I'll conclude that portion of the docket.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you very much, Your Honor. You have a great
Thank you.
day, everyone.
See you guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah.
Did you scare off Mr. McManus?
Well, I didn't move him, so it wasn't me, Judge.
Oh, I thought, were you in talking to him?
Yes, I talked to him in my breakout room.
Why is he still hanging out in there?
Should I go in and throw him out?
No, he can stay in there, just so you know, everything prior to. I start calling the failures to appear and I'm up to 850, but I just told Ms. Medina, Mr. Nunley, that I consider these matters closed, this docket closed, other than our formal hearings at 11:15 and 11:30.
Perfect.
Okay, so we didn't have to go look for Mr. McManus. This is 23 HR 039010I Huron Township versus Halal Rahal. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley
Yeah.
for the people, Your Honor.
Attorney Martin McManus for Mr. L.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pre-hearing in this matter. How are we proceeding, Mr. McManus?
There's been an offer from the prosecutor. We're willing to accept that offer. The offer
What
was
is that, Mr.
$300. No,
McManus?
the offer was no parking, pay $300, plead responsible. I have authority from my client.
You have authority from your client to plead responsible to double parking and pay a fine of $300?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does your
Yes, Your
client
Honor.
need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
He does not.
5 days to pay responsible on double parking in lieu of the failure to use due care and caution. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Foley?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. McManus?
No, Your Honor.
Your client can pay it online, they can pay it in person, or they can mail it into the court. Good luck to you. Have a good afternoon, sir.
Thanks. You too. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Foley, as we wait for the 11:15, I will just be calling failures to appear if there's something you need to do for the next 20 minutes or so.
Thank you, Your Honor.
23 HR 036090M Huron Township versus Dwayne C. Sutton Jr. Today's the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial. It was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:52 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, this matter will be set for show cause. This is 23 HR 00938 AOT. This is Huron Township versus Timothy Wilkerson. This matter was scheduled for pretrial, arraignment pretrial. Excuse me, pretrial at 9 o'clock. It is now 10:53 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. These are 23 HR 03457 A, B, and C, Huron Township versus Payshawn Adams. These matters were scheduled for pre-hearing and arraignment pretrial at 9:20 a.m. It's now 10:54 a.m. by this court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. The C file will be set for show cause. The A and B files will be deemed in default. I'm sorry. In the Adams matters, there's an indication from the prosecutor that the defendant requests an adjournment to obtain license. Mary Ann,
May 11th at 9:50.
May 11th at 9:50. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
These are 23 HR 03725 A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Travis Favors. These matters were scheduled for 9:40 a.m. It's now 10:57 a.m. by the court's clock. The defendant having failed to appear, the A file will be set for show cause. The B and C files will be deemed in default. These are 23 HR 03733 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Tomatria Gaston. The matters were scheduled at 9:40 a.m. It's now 10:58 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the B file will be set for show cause. The A file will be deemed in default. This is 22 HR 07054 AOT. This is Huron Township versus Sanchez Macomb. This matter was scheduled at 9:40 for arraignment pretrial. It's now 10:59 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. This matter will be set for show cause. Says 23HR 038170M, Huron Township versus J. Thiebish. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 10 a.m. It's now 11 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Matter will be set for show cause. This is 23HR 07725 AOT, Huron Township versus Carmen Ragland. The matter was scheduled at 10:10 a.m. It's now 11:01 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment and pretrial at 10:10 a.m. Again, it is now 11:01 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Bench warrant shall issue. 5,010%.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Mary Ann.
Hey, hi. Hey, do you need to speak with your 11:15 or are you ready to go? She just appeared.
We've not chatted, so why don't we chat?
Okay, ma'am, you're gonna see an invitation to join the breakout room to speak with the prosecutor, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All set, Kevin?
I think that respondent would like to plead responsible to be charged.
Oh, okay, I'll let the judge know.
Okay.
Thanks.
This is 23HR 03304 AOI, Huron Township versus Al Zahiri. May I have your appearances, please?
Hi.
Ma'am, state your name for me.
Zainab Al-Zahiri?
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the formal hearing in this matter. Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Foley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I did speak with Ms. Al-Zahiri. She has decided to plead responsible to the charge of impeding traffic. I will indicate that she did ask about reducing fines for a payment plan, and I indicated to her that that is not something prosecution gets into.
Thank you. Ms. Al-Zahiri, is it your agreement and intention this morning to plead responsible to the sole charge in this matter of impeding traffic?
Yes.
Ma'am, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, there won't be a formal hearing?
Yes.
And knowing that, ma'am, you plead responsible at this time?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on March 28, 2023 in Huron Township, you encountered a law enforcement officer and you were issued a citation for impeding traffic, and the citation indicates that you were driving 80 miles per hour in a 70 per mile an hour zone?
Yes.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of responsible. Fines and costs in this matter, there was something you wanted to say to the court?
Yes, because I'm currently unemployed, it's a bit difficult for me to pay the full amount. So I would like to discuss with the court if I can either do payment plan or reduce the amount and pay it once.
Ma'am, the amount is $180, and of course you can get into a payment plan. There was a clerk on here earlier. It does not look like the collections department is still on. What you can do is you can go onto the court's website. There's a contact us button. When you click that, it drops down for you to submit a request for a payment plan, or you can call the court and speak to the collections department, or you can come in person and set a payment plan with the court staff unless you already have a payment plan in mind.
Okay, is it possible for the court to reduce the amount for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
But what is possible, if you're saying that you have no funds to pay the $180, you could do community service, and it will reduce by $15 for every hour of community service that you completed.
And how do I find out more about the community service?
You contact the court's probation department,
Okay.
and that information will be on the court's website. You can call the general number and ask to be directed to the community service clerk, and that person will help you to make those arrangements. Anything else, Ms.
Great.
Al-Zahiri?
That's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
You as well. Bye.
Thank you.
Mr. Foley and Mr. Mays, do you need a breakout room together?
Yes, please.
Okay.
This is 23HR005470I Huron Township versus Terrence Matthew Teasdale. May I have your appearances, please?
Kevin Foley on behalf of the township, Your Honor.
And William Mays on behalf of Mr. Teasdale.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the formal hearing in this matter. The parties have had an opportunity to speak. Mr. Mays, how are we proceeding this morning?
We're going to adjourn. The officers in training. We weren't able to resolve the case. So just if you could give us a new date, please.
How far out?
No preference on my part, as long as the date's open.
May 11th or May 25th, Mr. Foley, do you have a preference?
No, Caitlin has to do either of them, so I don't care, Judge.
I will be there on the 25th, so that date sounds good.
May 11th, I'm sorry, May 25th at what time, Mary Ann?
11:30.
Okay.
May 25th at 11:30. Anything else, Mr. Foley?
No, and thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Mays?
No, thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks,
Mary
William.
Ann, that concludes.
Yep, no problem.
Take care, Mr. Foley. That concludes our docket. This court stands adjourned. Have a good day, everyone.
Hey, was that live? It's not live, is it? That formal?
No,
that you
it's
just
Zoom.
scheduled? Okay, thank you.
When we adjourn it identical to how it was already
Got it.
scheduled.
Thanks.